Hi students, it's Heather. I wanted to kind of go over what are the anabibliographies and how to do this part of our class. So the first thing you'll have to do is pick a topic. That is going to be your research. Annotated bibliographies are going to be connected to this. So you're going to basically make, it's kind of like a paragraph, tell me why you want to investigate, research the topic that you're picking. The topic does need to be diverse from you in some type of way. And with that being said, you can pick a variety of different things. It does have to focus on children 0 to 8. So you have to pick a topic that affects children 0 to 8. I do have a list on the syllabus on what possible topics you could pick. So you can pick things like autism, ADHD, you can pick education, you can pick different type of therapy for a diagnosis, anxiety, depression. There's a variety of different things you can actually pick from. So once you make that decision, that's going to be your decision for the whole semester. Then we're going to start talking what are research anabibliographies. This is really a fancy word, fancy, to say summary. So you're going to be writing a summary on a research article. Now, in our class, we do have some parameters that we have to focus on. Besides being a topic from children 0 to 8, we also have to do what we call empirical. So empirical means that there's a method section, meaning that they're doing a study on some type of participation. There's going to be a number of participants. It's going to give you the demographics about them. They're going to tell you about the measures. They're going to tell you all the details about that article. And I do have a video already talking about some of those on how to find articles on our library database. So please look at that video also. So what the question is talking about what do I do with these anabibliographies. So we are going to break them down. I do have everyone do one at first. So why do I have you do one? One is to help you with the future ones. So you're going to turn in one anabibliography. It's a summary, aka summary. What am I looking for? I'm looking for details. So it has to be at least 2 pages for that summary. With that, you're going to cite an APA. We have another video on that, and we have handouts on that. But you have to cite the video, the article in APA. So with the articles, you're going to have to eventually get to 5, but let's just still focus on this first one. So you're going to do a summary. I'm going to give you feedback on it, meaning I'm going to tell you how to improve it. If you did a really good job, then we don't have to worry about anything. But with that being said, you really have to start focusing on that topic. Usually where students go wrong is they don't have enough from the methods section, or they're not answering all the questions. So with all the questions, I'm really looking for things in particular, and let me scroll down to these questions. So these questions here, what is it? Can't be a book because we can't do books. It can't be a chapter because we can't do a chapter. It can be a scholarly article, a summary article, or empirical. So out of the 5, you have to have 3 empirical. So empirical is right there. Empirical means a method section. You can have 2 summaries, or you can have 5 empiricals. Now the tricky part with the summary articles are usually at least about 15 to 20 pages. They're giving a lot of details about that topic. So they're not particularly running a study, or they're not having participants, but they're talking about a bunch of different articles that they have read, and now they're putting together a summary about that topic that they read on. With that, it also needs to be a scholarly article, meaning the person that's writing about that has to know what they're talking about. They have to be a somewhat expert in the field, so they would be considered like a researcher. With, who are the authors, you're going to tell me who the authors are, who are the intended audience. It's either going to be scholars. Empirical articles are always for scholars. It can be somewhat general public. Summaries might be for the general public. Now, the purpose, you're going to tell me exactly what's their purpose, like what are they researching, what are their topics. You're really going to give me a lot of information on that. You do need to state their hypothesis. So if it's empirical, it's going to have a hypothesis. It's going to be specific. If it's a summary, you're just going to be wrapping up what are their thoughts on the topic. Now, really the focus is empirical. For the empirical articles is the method section. I need a lot of details in there. I have a sample below that you can look at also. Now with the summaries, you're going to give me a lot of detail on what they were talking about. So this has to be, just for your first one, it has to be 2 pages. So 2 pages of a lot of details on it. You're also going to talk about the effects of how does it affect, the child, the family, the community. Is there positive and negative? There's probably both. What are their interrelationships? So you do have to have like a little part of that. So the focus is more on the methods. So if we look at the sample down here that I actually made, I put at the top, that's how you would reference this article in APA. And then I give you all the details, and I kind of have comments on the section to help you. So all the details that article is looking at. Now, once you've done one, I'm going to give you the feedback. I'm going to have higher expectations for the second one. So the second one, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be revising your first one, the one that you already submitted. I gave you feedback. You're going to be revising it. If you got a great score, you don't have to revise it. You're just like, no, Miss Heather, I'm happy with my score. I'm not revising it. Even if you're like, Miss Heather, I'm not going to revise it, you're still going to keep that score. And what does that mean? So when you turn in your second one, so you're going to do another one. You're going to do your second one, a summary of another article that's connected to the same topic. With that being said, you're going to revise the first one. You're going to send me the second one. Now, then I'm going to give you feedback on both. I'm going to combine if you revised it, or if you're using your old score, and your new score of the second, and that's going to give you a total of 20 out of 20. So I hope that part makes sense. I'm going to go over that part again. So let's say you didn't turn in your first one. You're like, oh, Miss Heather, had something going on that week. I didn't do it. Now you have the opportunity. I'm not going to go back and change your first score to the first one. That has already sailed. We're not going to change the score. However, on your second one, you can submit 2 articles. And when you submit 2, I'll know that you haven't done the first one, so I'm going to give you a lot more feedback on the first and second. And then I'm going to combine those scores. They are out of 10 each to equal 20. Now, if you've already turned it in, and if you don't send me another one, I'm just going to assume you're okay with your first one. I'm going to go back, look at your first one, and take that score, and then give you feedback on that second one, and I'm going to combine those scores to give you your second anabiography score, which is out of 20. Now, what's also very important about these articles, for me, in order to help you, especially with like APA and things like that, you have to send me your article. I do tell students to send me the article before they start writing, so I can tell them if it's empirical or a summary article, because if it's not one of those two, you can't use it. So it'd be kind of a waste of your time to write about it if you're not even able to use it. So send me the articles first. Now, when you send me the articles, you can't send it to me in a link, because it's going to ask me to sign in as you, and I can't sign in as you. What you do have to do is, once you find the article you like, you need to save it to your computer or your device that you're using, and you need to save it to your, like if you're using your laptop, you need to save it to your laptop as a PDF file. It will go into your file section onto your laptop, or if you're putting on your UDisk drive, however you're saving it. Then you're going to take that, you're going to send me an email or a course message, and you're going to load that PDF to me. Now that part's very important, so make sure you're sending me your PDF. So the first one, I need a PDF. The second one, I need a PDF, and then I'm going to give you feedback, and I'm going to help you with that. So after you turn in your first and second, what do we do now? So what you're going to do now is you're going to get all my feedback. Then if you've already done your first 2, some students do, some students don't, and that's why I'm going to break it down like this. So if you've already turned in your first 2, let's say you did really good on both, you're like, I'm not going to revise them. However, I need to put them all in one document for all 5 of my anabiographies. So I don't want 5 different files of your summaries. What I want you to do now is you're putting all 5. You're going to have 5. So you did your first 2. Now you're adding 3 more. Let's say you didn't do any of them. Now you're going to have to find 5 altogether. You're going to be a little more stressed out, and you didn't get my feedback on first and second. So hopefully you're doing a really good job and really paying attention to this video. So with that being said, you're going to have all 5. Now, so that's going to be roughly about a 10-page or more document. So I'm going to be putting all my summaries together. However, I'm going to do one summary at a time. So I'm not intermingling this. I'm not writing a paper. I don't think we're really there yet. So this is why we're just going to do 5 summaries. So I'm going to do Article 1, 2-page summary. Article 2, 2-page summary. Article 3, 2-page summary. Article 4, 2-page summary. Article 5, 2-page summary. So that's going to be very important. That's about 10 pages on its own. I also want a APA title page. And I also want an APA reference page at the end, where you're going to be putting all 5 of your articles on that reference page. Now with that, it's very important because you're going to be putting the authors in alphabetical order, not changing the first, second, third authors of your articles. Whoever was named first is that first author. That first author's last name is going to be predictive on where you put them on the reference page, because you're going to be putting your reference page in alphabetical order based on the last author's last name. The first author's last name. So I'm going to be looking for 5 on there, and I'm looking for alphabetical order, and I'm looking for, is it in APA? So on this 5th one, let's say you didn't revise the first one or second one because they're really good. So I'm going to go there, probably going to have you're going to have the same score as you had in it before. Now I'm going to be looking at these next 3, and I'm going to be scoring them. So basically all the articles are 5 points apiece, and I'm going to be putting them all together. So with that being said, let me break this down here, which will kind of show you where it's at. I'm going to be looking at them. So I'm going to be seeing, did you do alphabetical order? Do you have a reference page? All those different things. Did you provide the first and second original revision? So if I was in a face-to-face class, which right now we're not doing, and this is also for my online class for a child, family, community. With this being said, you would typically, if you turned it in handwritten, not handwritten, typed, I would write feedback on there. I would want that, and then you revise. However, if you were submitting it all online because we're in an online class or due to the coronavirus, whatever it may happen, you wouldn't be sending it to me like that. You would just be adding it to your document. So on that 5th one, I just want one document of all 5 of your summaries together. So it's going to be it's going to be at least 12 pages, because you're going to need your APA title page and your reference page, and then your 10 pages of your summaries. So with that being said, you're going to submit that. I also am going to need all 5 of the PDFs. So if you already send me the first 2, you don't need to send them to me again. What you will need to send me is the next 3 articles, and I need them in a PDF. So you're either going to send those to me in email, or you're going to send them to me in course message in our class, or an inbox if we're in Canvas. So what's very important is you're saving it to your device as a PDF, then you're sending it to me uploaded as an attachment as a PDF. Do not send me links. Do not, even if you're going to share it from the library, which is okay, you need to CC your email address and mine, because if it's coming from the library, I just see it's coming from the library. I won't know who's sending it to me. I won't know whose article it is. So you are going to have to CC yourself, and it also saves it for you so you can go find it again. And you need to make sure that you're clicking a PDF, because if it's not a PDF, it's going to send me a link and then I can't get it. So then you're going to get another email from me saying like, hey friend, I can't help you yet because you haven't sent it as a PDF. So hopefully that helps. So you have your first one, which is just one of them, doing a summary about 2 pages. I'm going to give you feedback. Then on the second one, you're going to either revise your first one and give me another one, which is your second. I'm going to give you points on that. If you didn't do the first one, you send me 2, I'll give you points. Now, then from your second, you're going to get all the feedback from me, and then you're going to put all 5 of them together. So you're really, if you already did your first 2, you're just adding 3 more. But I want to see all of them. So it's very important that you're adding all the summaries together on one document. I really hope that helped, and please feel free to ask me any questions.